this is true, which it probably is, and we've pretty much kind of heard about this before, vaguely. But if it's like full on true, I mean, Walter Hamada, this is for you.
You serious?
What's happening, film friends? Dave the Film Junkie here. All right, well, let's talk about this. Even though, like, it was briefly, vaguely mentioned, I think, in DC fandom. Somebody talked about that, and I remember them actually talking about this. But of course, we're talking about this tweet right here from when is this? Emre Kaya? I don't know. Like, I some of this guy's stuff is like totally off and wrong, but sometimes, but this has been making the rounds. People are like, hey man, you need to talk about this. I'm like, all right, let's talk about this. So here's the tweet right here. It says, in a Zoom call earlier this month, DC Films asked the help of Berlanti Productions and other DC TV producers when it comes to world building in the DCEU. Characters from DC television series will also be appearing in upcoming movies. So there it is right there. Okay, that's cool. But it's just kind of funny because it's like, yeah, Walter Hamada, when he did that whole like that piece that came out in New York Times, that convenient fucking article where it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then yeah, when it comes to HBO Max, yeah, we're gonna try to like do a spin-off of like the movies, and that can go right to HBO Max. And it was like, cock sucker. Anyways, but they briefly kind of talked. I think there was mention of it in DC fandom, one of the panels. And I think they talked about, I mean, it's funny because we keep hearing stuff like that, world building, multiverse, and everything like that. Ann Sarnoff said something not too long ago at CES. And, it's just like we keep, as much as like, hey, yeah, keep saying stuff like that. I'm digging it. And I'm going to talk about it. Let's put it out there. But it's like, it seems like it's almost like different variations of words about like almost the same thing that's been mentioned before, and then when they talk about TV characters that are going to be in movies, fine. That's perfectly fine. If you're going to have like a multiverse setting, you already set that up at the end of 2019. That's what the whole Ezra Miller being on the CW during Crisis on Infinite Earths, face to face with Grant Gustin. I think all of us kind of suspected that Grant Gustin is going to be in the Flash movie. Okay. But who knows when the Flash movie is going to be filmed, because there's a kind of a bit of a mess right there that they need to straighten out. And hopefully they do. Who knows what's going to happen with that? But it's just kind of funny because when we hear about this, and when you hear Berlanti, you're like, oh my God, no, because it's, I mean, oh man, this is why Zack Snyder's Justice League is important, guys. This is why it's important. Okay. I mean, this is just another reminder, I guess you could say, because like I said, there's just different variations of stuff that we kind of heard before, but now this is more like in your face. Even if like this Zoom call didn't exist, look at it as a warning, a fucking warning of what things will just turn into when it comes to the DC universe. Okay. This is why Zack Snyder's Justice League is so important. And I get it, guys. There's going to be critics. There's going to be bloggers. They've already written out how much they're going to trash this movie. I get it. But the overall support when it comes to merchandise, when it comes to purchasing it, no, fuck. Like I said, just, yeah, no torrents, no nothing, no pirating, no anything like that, because we need this thing to be successful, because if it doesn't, it's going to go full. We're going to start seeing CW stuff. I mean, people that didn't like Wonder Woman 84, and, you've heard my whole take on it. And yeah, a lot of things I didn't like, some things I did. And, thinking about some of the stuff, it's just like, yeah, sadly, that just, one thing about Wonder Woman 84, that first trailer really popped, really got me hyped, and it worked. And then it just, that tone, that little like, oh, this is 80s, man. Dun, 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 dun. And then you watch and you're like, huh. How about that? No 80s music in this movie whatsoever. You would have thought with that first trailer and the way that it popped like that, and it was interesting. But of course, we can go. I'm not going to go on a whole Wonder Woman 84 thing, but I'm just saying this is how important Zack Snyder's Justice League is, guys. This is how important it is, and how much we need to support it and hype it up and try to get it out there. And hopefully, it's well received from a lot of people. More than usual, because it's just going to go, it's going to go this route where it's like, all right, maybe, this is not working. So, but it seems like the CW shows are working, most of them at least. So let's try to, I'm just saying, and of course I'm going to watch everything out there because that's what I do. I watch movies. I try to watch as many shows as possible. But when it comes to the CW first thing, I kind of checked out after Arrow season 4 and Flash season 3. So that's where I kind of checked out, and I haven't really looked back. Legends of Tomorrow got into 2 of those seasons. Yeah. But they're decent. And then of course there's a new Superman show coming out, which is interesting. But yeah, so I'm just kind of like, all right, what do we do here? What do we do here? What's going on? We need to have distinct stuff. And I mean, that's what I worry about. I mean, as much as like when it came to that Walter Hamada, like New York Times article, it almost was like, yeah, let's just throw some spinoffs over at HBO Max. We'll just give them the fucking leftovers, little pieces that we didn't eat, not the big chunk of meat. You get the fucking fatty outside of that meat, Ugh. Yeah, it almost seemed like that, but it's like, man, we can have something pretty great over here on HBO Max. Just something pretty fantastic. You can have a different kind of, you can have this genre, but more adult oriented. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with that? It's like, yeah, we can have your Shazams and your Wonder Woman 1984s. You can have all that big screen and whatever. And I don't know. It's just so many different things, because then you look at the Suicide Squad. It's fucking hard R. The Batman. That ain't for kids. It's like, okay, so what do you guys want? What do you guys want over there at Warner Brothers? What do you guys want? Okay. I mean, obviously when it comes, I'm like trying to figure it out. You have arguably the biggest movie star in the world that's going to be doing a movie for you, that's building a world of himself, the JSA and everything like that, with, of course, talking about Dwayne Johnson and Black Adam. And I'm just like, okay, you have the biggest star, the movie star. Okay, cool. So what? I don't know. It just seems like if you're going to tackle the multiverse thing, just have different things. Just treat it like you did DC fandom with all the different the different worlds that you can go. Maybe have one complete. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out separate them. It's fine, but they can all be interconnected somehow. But you can have the Snyderverse on HBO Max. You can have, but then there's conflict there because there was, of course, the Jeff Johns Green Lantern. But yeah, but then you can have your movies, and if you want them to be more lighthearted, fine. And then you can have your CW stuff right here. But then also on HBO Max, you have R-rated stuff like Doom Patrol and Titans, and it's just like, it seems like they're just trying to have, I don't know if separating, hey, have HBO Max have all the adult shit, and then then you can have the CW. I don't know what the solution could be. It seems like everything just got a little too messy. When they started deviating from Snyder's plan. It is kind of funny how that is too, if you think about it, because when they started messing with all that, then it went to shit, and that all went to shit, and there's stuff that just didn't work out from trying to be more lighthearted and be not as dark and this, that, and this. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now HBO Max is like, well, we're going to release his movie now. So I don't know. It's all interesting, guys. It's all very much up in the air and very interesting because, the future is obviously there's stuff I'm really looking forward to, and there's stuff where I'm kind of worried. I'm worried about the Flash. What's that going to be like? That could end up being that was supposed to be a culmination of hey, this is the multiverse. This is what's happening. It's going to be holy shit grand. But then there's controversy now behind it, and it's you guys could easily, if they end up. If stuff ends up going good, where Ray Fisher ends up being in it, because he's obviously supposed to be a pivotal part of that script. I mean, that could look really good, and hopefully, when everything works out, I don't know. it's what's everything's so up in the air right now. And like I said, the importance of Zack Snyder's Justice League is like, it's pretty big. It's pretty important. I'm telling you what, guys, like got to show the support big time. And like I said, when marketing kicks into gear February and into March, I mean, it's going to be absolutely crazy. And we got to blow this movie up. And, it is going to get blown up. We're all going to use our voices that we can. And whether it's just Twitter, Facebook, whatever, go for it. I'm going to be, of course, anything that comes out about it. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about it. We got other voices out there that you guys know who are doing it, whether they're writing a blog or, pissing and moaning into a microphone. I'm just saying. It's all crazy. It's crazy politics that are happening in this movie world. It's all nuts, but we'll see what happens, guys. And I would say, like I said, your job right now, we could worry. Try not to worry too much, but, just got to just show that support for Zack Snyder's Justice League. You really got to do that. And hopefully they can find some kind of thing where, like I said, it just seemed like everything just got a little too messy before they're like going, hey, can we try to contain this here? Berlanti, what you did Crisis. You helped do Crisis, man? Well, it's like, well, can we? And that's the thing. It's like, well, didn't Jim Lee help that out? What does Jim Lee have to say about this? That's kind of weird about this. But then, of course, he's a comic book guy, so maybe he didn't want to like full on like hit it hard. But then at the same time, isn't that part of his job? I don't know. I think it's dumb. I think it's just Hamada not fucking knowing what the hell he wants to do. Cocksucker. Anyways, all right, guys. That's all I wanted to talk about when it came to that tweet, because it was making the rounds and people wanted me to talk about it. So there it is right there. Let me know your thoughts about it down below. What do you think about all that? Hit that like, thumbs up button if you'd be so kind. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm doing this stuff. Follow me on the sock comments that are down below, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, there's a Facebook page too if you want to do that. Feel free to join the Film Junkie membership. If you want to become a Film Junkie member, you get some exclusive videos, little behind-the-scenes stuff, little quick little videos that you'll get. And, of course, access to emojis and badges, which I'll hopefully be updating more of that soon. And then, of course, you can help out with the Patreon, which really helps out. And you guys get exclusive stuff like early access to certain things and everything. So, and then, of course, shirts down below. Got a new Back to the Future shirt in there. Check it out. All right, guys. Love you. Talk to you later.